the One Punch Man Season 3 backlash and fight and battle and everything like that is now taken a very interesting turn, shall we say. Now, obviously, Season 3 has not been that good. Let's be real. The animation has not been anywhere near subpar. Like, look, Season 1 set the tone. It was incredible. Season 2, not as good, but still, we enjoyed it. Then you get Season 3, which was just, I mean, we're talking worse than Debate, the beginning after the end. Like, we're talking that level. So now things have come to a standpoint where animators are now coming out and having a go at people. Now, there was an actual statement that was released, and I'm going to read it to you guys right now, and we're going to talk about this, because this is getting pretty crazy right now. So let's get to this statement, which is, one of the legendary animators as well. He's known for his work on One Piece and Bleach and everything, So this is someone that has been in the industry for a while. Now, they talk about the sheer volume of criticism from people watching illegally overseas is overwhelming. The more you bully us, the more the stuff will disappear, guaranteed. Now, there is more out there as well for this interview that you guys can go and find out from what he said and that. But essentially, the whole thing is coming out and saying that people overseas are watching it illegally and they are crapping on this and harassing us and bullying us for this product that we have put out. He talks also about how the staff are putting in everything they have, with this time restraint, with the schedule and everything. They are doing everything they can. They poured their heart and souls into it. So firstly, I just want to say the first part of saying that people overseas are watching it illegally is so completely wrong. To say that the majority of us are watching it illegally and that's, something that is bad and that's the reason why you get all this criticism. No, I watch it because I pay for a subscription to be able to watch it. I pay to watch this, okay? Majority of us pay to see this product. It's something that is accessible to us. We don't do that. And to just go after the overseas fan base for this, I think is just not the way to go about it. Because it's not us. Look, it's not just us. It's everyone. Everyone can see the issue with One Punch Man Season 3. And the fact is, the bar was set so high with Season 1, lowered by Season 2, but when you get to Season 3, it's just nowhere near Season 2. I think if you dropped another Season 2, I think people would be maybe a little bit more forgiving. They'd be like, okay, great, it's not as good as Season 1, but, it's still okay. But the fact is, it's so far down. Now, another thing is, I don't agree with people going after animators and harassing them. I will never, ever do that. But I don't think majority of us are mad at the animators. I don't think we all hate the animators. We understand the situation that they're in and that they have to answer to people as well. We're not mad at those people. We're not mad at the people who slaved away doing this. Because at the end of the day, when you produce this, it's got to go to someone before it goes out. It's got to go higher up before someone says, yeah, let's put that out. So it's not the animators that we are upset with. It is the higher ups. It's the studio themselves. It's the people that are higher up, that are making these, that are seeing this and overseeing everything and going, you know what? Yeah. Yes. That is it. That's the product, man. That is, I want to put this out. Let's trace the manga. Let's do this. Let's not even bother drawing the rest of this here and that. And let's just move a little bit of the mouths and do this. That's not the animator's fault. They're told to do that. They're going to do that. It's like any other job. You go in there, your boss tells you, hey, I need you to do this and do it like this. You're going to do it. It's not your fault. You're just following the instructions. So we're not angry at the animators. We're angry at the upstairs because the fact is they've had One Punch Man since Season 2. They've had it for 6 years. They announced it, I believe, in 2022 that Season 3 was coming. They knew this was coming. They know about One Punch Man. They know how popular it is. They know that people are super excited for the fight for Saitama and Gaara. They're excited to see the transformation of Gaara go through and all of the monster arc that is happening. Everyone's excited. You knew all this. This is the issue that we have, is this isn't just, we just acquired it and we pumped it out within 1 year. No. You had several years to get prepared for this, to do this. And like I always say to people, like when people are like, why are we waiting 3 years for an anime or something like that? Why are we waiting for another season, 3 years and everything? And I've always said, I would rather wait and have the product come out with great animation, great story, and great characters. I'm 100%. That's why I don't mind waiting 2 years, 3 years for another season, as long as you allow yourselves to produce something that you are 100% happy with. Because I know the animators aren't 100% happy with this. I know that if they had the freedom to be able to do it themselves without the restriction, that with a bit more time frame, with a bit more money, being paid better, with better conditions, working conditions, they would produce a lot higher quality. We know that. We know all of this. But the fact is, the studio and that aren't doing it. And they had the opportunity to do it with One Punch Man. They had the opportunity to get prepared so that when they started the production of it, they were ready. They were like, this is it. This is what we're doing. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to make this the best thing we can possibly do. And you know, there are some animes out there that have bad production. For example, The Sword of the Demon Hunter. It had some production issues and stuff like that. But it was not to this point where I was sitting there and I was like, oh, this is every single episode. You know, that's the point that I'm making here. Sword of Demon Hunter had a couple of episodes here and there where, yeah, there was production and budget issues and stuff like that, but they made it work. They made it work somehow, and it was still watchable. It was still enjoyable, and it still served the plot and the story and the characters in a way where you could get enjoyment out of it. You were never fully pulled out. This is every single episode. And look, Sword of Demon Hunter was 24 episodes long. 24 episodes. We're not talking about 24 episodes long. We're talking about 12 episodes. So we're talking about half of it. And somehow they have managed to do this. And this is not me calling out the animators, because I'm not going to call out those animators, because I understand where they are coming from. And I know that if you sat down with them and asked them, if you had the chance to go back with more money, with more time, do you believe you could do a better job? And they will sit there and they'll 100% be like, yeah, I could 100% deliver better than this. But it's the people higher up who are just trying to churn this shit out when they shouldn't be, when they're not getting prepared. You know what? If you can't fund it, sell it. Sell it to someone else. Just go here, have this, you know, map out here. Do you want One Punch Man? Because we're going to sell it, because we can't afford to do it and stuff like that. But you know what is even more frustrating? Is you watch JC pull out other stuff and it's actually well animated. And that, I think, is the most frustrating things for us as fans. Is one, we pay for this to consume this. We pay to watch this, and then you get given garbage. Of course you're going to be mad. Now, there is criticisms that are valid, and there are criticisms that aren't valid. You know? But I think majority of the criticisms about the animation, about how the art direction has gone, about what the director's done, what Upstairs have done, what Bandai have done, like, I think that's all valid. Everything about that is all valid when it comes to this season. Obviously, there are some people that will take it over the line and stuff like that and not realize that they're actually criticizing the wrong people because they don't understand the situation. Context matters. Yes, I get that. But I'm not going after them. I'm going after the people who are actually responsible for this, who actually had the authority to change this and to develop this into something that could have been really, really special. It really could have been. I think that is the most frustrating thing for all of us. Like, we pay for this, we consume this. We waited 6 years. 6 freaking years for season 3. You know, this isn't me just waiting 6 months to a year and going, oh, you know what? This is kind of what happens when you ask for something to be this, you know, early. Like, you know, I want it straight away. It's going to be a worse quality. 6 years, you had time to prepare. I get it, COVID struck and stuff like that. That all happened. But 2022, you said that season 3 was going into production. It was getting ready to go. What were you doing all that time? What were you actually doing all that time? You should have been prepared. And that is the most frustrating thing, is that we had to wait this long and we got this level of quality. I think that's the root of the issue for me. So I'm not blaming the animators. I think it's the higher ups. They're the issue. That's the problem. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think the criticisms for season 3 are valid? Do you think they're not? Smash it down in the comment section below. Smash that like button. Click subscribe. And I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe and peace out.